So for today's project, we're going to be building a slackline in our backyard. And it's a pretty simple project, intermediate, just requires some good old-fashioned hard work. And so materials for the job, all we're going to need is dirt and a couple of these big 6x8 fence posts. You can get them from a local hardware store. I got mine from a tractor supply store. And it's just a 6x8 treated Douglas fir fence post is what typical people are going to be using them for. Today we're going to be using them for posts to anchor our slackline to. So 2 points. Our slackline will be running across this yard here, about 30 feet in length, and it'll be anchored at one post, at another post, and we'll be slacklining across. That is going to be our end goal. So with that said, tools for the job, we're going to need our post hole digger, measuring tape, a pair of gloves. Leather gloves are best, whatever you got works. And then we're going to need some tamping tools for the job. So after we set our fence posts in the ground, we're going to backfill it with dirt, and we're going to be tamping that dirt. So to do that, we're going to use some various pieces of lumber, is what I use. So we got a 2x3, a thinner strip of wood like this guy to really get in the cracks and crevices. And what I like to use is just a single jack sledgehammer, and I'll just tamp on top of this guy as I'm backfilling with the soil. You'll see. And we got ourselves a level to make sure our posts are nice and plumb. And then we got a square tamper just to do the finishing touches on the top of the soil. And that's it. Let's get to it. All right, so with these fence posts, they're about 8 foot 2 inches long. So 98 inches, right? 98 inches, 8 foot 2 inches long. Our end goal is these are going to also serve as some standing table heights or standing tables, as well as the slacklining posts. So with that being said, I want these tables to be a finished height about 42 inches, roughly. So to the top of the post, it's going to be about 40.5 inches. And then I'm going to be adding a piece of wood that's 1.5 inches on top of that to bring us to our total height of 42 inches. So I need to sink this post about 58 inches into the ground. That's about the exact height of my post hole digger from tip to tip. So from the very top of these guys down to where it penetrates, I got 58.5 inches. So that's actually perfect for what I need. The rest of that will be, like I said, roughly 40 inches in the ground or above the ground. 58 inches will be in the ground. And that's what we're gonna do now. Let's get that going. Digging the hole, real simple. You just wanna go a couple inches wider than your post. Our post is 8 inches wide. So I got about a 12-inch hole here in diameter. So we went about 12 inches, a foot around, so the post fits in there real easy. With these post hole diggers, they do have a tendency to want to close up on you as you're digging the hole. So as you're digging, you just kind of push these handles together as you send this down in your hole, and it'll keep the jaws open so you can get more dirt. And as you put them in the ground, real simple, you just want to keep them open and then pinch the dirt on your way out. So open on the way in, go around, and you just, I like to go a couple directions in. So go down, pinch, turn, down, pinch, turn, down, pinch, and the last pinch, and it'll look like this. And then, so once you get your hole dug, then we can set the post and see and adjust our height accordingly. So our goal was to have about 40 inches from the ground surface to the top of our post. Let's see what we got. Drop her in there like that. I just tamp it down a few times to make sure that loose soil that we, loosened up with our post hole digger kind of gets firm underneath our post, and to make sure we're plumb. We'll check that in a minute. But we also have our makeshift tabletop piece, so this is the type of wood I'll be using. It's about, like I said, 1.5 inches thick. So with that on top, we should be the top of this, give or take 42 inches is what I'm going for. Not exact, but somewhere in the ballpark. So from the ground to the top of that, right now we got 43. So I'm gonna dig this hole a little deeper until I get about 42, and then we'll be good to go. So now we got 42 inches, the exact height we're looking for on our post. And we're gonna go ahead and backfill our post now, and I'll show you that process. All right, so next, once we got our pole height, now we're gonna just make sure that our hole here is gonna be plumb. And the way we do that, you just get a level. We're gonna be watching this bubble. So we're checking it, the vertical, that we're straight vertically. That's also called plumbness. So we're gonna check it north and south and east and west. Or north and south, east and west, whichever way you're looking at it. So here, so we just need a small adjustment forward that way. And then on the east and west, we're gonna be right there. We'll be in between our lines. So as I get it there, go ahead and kick a little dirt in the hole to kind of hold my position. Tamp that dirt as we go, just making sure we're staying plumb as we backfill. Once you get to a certain point, the pole will pretty much stay there. It's not going to move. So as you backfill with dirt, you can get a more sophisticated item if you want, but like I said, a piece of wood works perfect. 2x3 cut down works great. You want to make sure you're tamping the full all the way around your post. Make sure that it compacts all the way around this guy as you're going in. So you backfill over and over again. Tend just to kick the dirt in myself. Tamp just with your 2x3, the single jack to really get it in there. All the way around, over and over again. Backfill, tamp, backfill, tamp. Just like that. I also use that real skinny piece to really make sure that dirt gets down around my pole, nice and compact. And that way, there's no air pockets where there's not dirt that's been backfilled. And that's it. Once we get it backfilled all the way to the top, we'll tamp it with our finish tamper, and we'll be done. And just for information, the tampers work a little bit better if the soil is slightly moist, which it should be if you just dug the hole. But if you have the soil sitting out in a pile for a little while, a couple days or something, and you want to get the soil moist as you're tamping and backfilling, that way it holds its compaction. Otherwise, you're just be making a big dust cloud on yourself. And that pretty much completes our post installation. So as you can see, you got 5 feet in the ground. This guy's gonna be good and strong. We'll test it out with our slackline. Got one post here, one post over there. See what we got. Attention, 35 feet away. And then we have our FlyBolt slackline kit. I got it off Amazon. It comes with the little bag to hold all your slacklining equipment. It comes with a hand line, or they call it a training line, and that's to go up above your slackline setup to help give you hand stability and train you initially when you're learning how to use the slackline. I don't really use that one, but then it also comes with a couple of tree protectors or post protectors. So you'll take this, and it has Velcro. It Velcros to this other side of the Velcro. You wrap that around your post or your tree, and then that's where your slackline will be applied along this. I'll show you how to set it up in a minute. It comes with 2 of those. It comes with your main slackline. And on your main slackline, you'll notice that it's got printed bold, FlyBolt on one side, and on the other side there's no print. And and that's just to help you keep the slack line properly organized as you're setting it up, so it doesn't become twisted as you're running the length of the slack line out and setting it up from post to post or from tree to tree. And then you have your actual ratchet, which is going to do the tightening of your slack line. And then the ratchet comes with a protector. I'll show you how that's used. You can also use it for packing it up, which is what I do. So you wrap this thing up when you're all done, and then you just send this around. It's got 2 snaps and a Velcro piece. Got Velcros. So that's also mainly used for when you're setting up the slack line. You put it over this ratchet so that way you can walk over the ratchet without walking on top of metal. It's a little more comfortable. And we'll go ahead and set that up now. So first thing we do is, like I said, we'll start with our post protector. And it's just gonna keep these things from getting burnt up from your slack line, or getting worn down, really, best way to say that. I'm gonna go about 1.5 feet up on the post, something like that. And we'll just wrap this guy around a couple times until it's tight. And the Velcro is strapped. Send it around and around, just like that. All right, and then next we're gonna send our ratchet on this side. Don't worry if it takes you a couple times to set this up. It's not a big deal. You know, you gotta learn. So typically, the way this one works is the FlyBolt lettering is gonna be facing up to the sky. So it's gonna be like this when we string it out, okay? So with that being said, this ratchet will be handle side down. So you see it's got a little lock here, right? That unlocks, and then this is going to actually tighten our slack line. I'll show you that in action in a minute. But so to get this guy set up, we're gonna feed it around. Let's do what they call a choke. So it's got these little eyelets, nice and reinforced, braided there. But we can send it around the back side like that. Bring that ratchet through. Like so. Bring our loop up here. And then we'll go ahead and snug that up. Okay, one thing that the instructions tell you and to keep in mind is that in order to keep this slack line nice and organized coming out of this choke knot, you want to go ahead and start a half fold back here. So all you do, you take it, finger in the middle, fold it. That fold will continue through your choke. And I just go ahead and cinch it down with my hand like that. And then so, see, as it comes out, it's going to go ahead and flatten out going down this slack line. And like I said, you want the lettering facing up. And then now we'll go ahead and set up the other side. So on this side, we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to take our protector, I'm going to send it around. Same thing, about 1.5 feet up. You want the slack line to be pretty even or pretty level as it comes around, or in between poles rather. So about 1.5 feet, 2 feet up. Make sure it's tight. Go around and around, just like that. Now, excuse the wind, sorry about that. But so for this one, see, we got it all coiled up here in a big bundle. What I like to do is I'll just throw this out. So we'll come around the right back side, come through, and then when we pull this guy here through, it's gonna take a minute because it's like 50 feet or so, 45 feet, something like that. Anyway, we'll keep pulling her through, pull her through, and we'll make sure it's all facing up here in a sec. Another way of doing your choke, instead of taking it and feeding the whole thing through this whole choke side here, so you're just going to feed your slack line in your loop like so. And now it might get a little discombobulated here, but if this loop gets turned too many times, you just unturn it here. So say it goes like that, you just untwist it real quick. Okay, just like that. And then now we're going to send this, depending on which orientation we want, right? So we want these letters to be facing up when we come out of there. So we're just going to have this folded in half, like so. Go ahead and feed it over our post. pull it tight. And we're just gonna run it out, and we're gonna make sure we keep our text facing up. All right, so we got the main slackline portion almost to where we need it. So we just keep going, text facing up. Now we take our ratchet portion, and then all we're gonna do is we want our main slackline to end up on top of this guy. So we're gonna come in through the hole, we're gonna come out through the middle of the hole, and then that tail of our slackline will be touching the ground. Once again, text facing up. So we just feed this through, like so. And we're gonna leave a little bit, you'll see when we get it tight. So we just keep pulling and pulling. It's pretty well organized, just like so. Okay. We got a lot of slack here, so we're just gonna pull all that slack out. Go this way, pull, pull, pull. So we get it like that. And then now, once it's pretty tight, now we're gonna go ahead, take our handle here, disengage, and then that'll give us the ability to start ratcheting. So, go ahead and ratchet. You want this strap to go around the turns here. You want it to go a couple of times at least for good tension, okay? Locks in right here. See that? Just has a seam here, so you just make sure that bottom portion of Velcro goes down there. Sure, it doesn't really matter. More of a preference of mine. All right, give it a shot. Stick it on and go. There you have it. All right, so putting everything back, take our post wraps off, post protectors off, and then what I'd like to do with them, so I'll take my long piece of slack line, right? I'll roll it up. All right, so then we get this guy wrapped up all the way. We're gonna take our tree protectors, and I just wrap this around them, or wrap the tree protectors around our main slackline portion. So just go around, keep it kind of tight. It's just going to keep our slackline organized while it's in our bag. Keep it from coming unraveled. So we got one there. We'll do the other one, the other protector the other direction. So same thing. Go here with it. Wrap it and wrap it. Keeping it tight. Velcro it, just like that. That'll go in our bag real nicely. So for our main ratcheting portion, just take it and simply wrap your strap around the ratchet. Like so. You really could do it however you want, but this is the way I do it. Just keep everything nice and tight, cleaned up, orderly in the bag. And then we just take the Velcro protector, go around it. One snap. Two snap, and then we go ahead and put our Velcro on. Keep it organized. And this will fit in our bag real nice. So, slack line in the bag, main ratchet in the bag. Guys, also, if you want to check out the video on how we turn this post here, both of them, into tables, that'll be linked right here. Go ahead and check it out. And that's about it. So, thanks again. Have a good day.